my name is Gulari. I'm an assistant professor in entrepreneurship, innovation and strategy department. In our research group, we all wanted to say something important to the world, and this deeply rooting what I'm doing. I have been working on topics on environmental and societal issues, decolonialism, care. So my research is deeply engaged in critical issues. I often want to challenge the underlying assumptions that need to change, and I use artist-led practices as a method for this. Artists, they often start with questions that are no established methods, there are no answers. So this freedom really inspires me. This can be unnerving, but it's equally exciting and full of possibilities and always interesting. It's driven by a sense of optimism because I want to create openings, not closures. To talk about the impact of my work, I would like to give a concrete example, a recent work of mine. It looks at a specific artist called Mierle Landerman-Ukeles. She's an American artist. In the late 60s and early 70s, when she became mother, she was faced with the challenge that the society no longer recognized her as an artist. She was struggling between being an artist and being a mother because she was constantly doing maintenance work at home, like cleaning, taking care of children, preserving, etc. So she wanted to challenge this, the invisibility of this work by making the subject of her art. So she coined the term maintenance art, and she started doing this performance of cleaning, of museums, cleaning street as part of her artwork. So this inspired me, so I looked at the same settings in organizations, and I wanted to theorize maintenance, and I wanted to bring maintenance in a more political position inspired from her work. So I brought you three books, and to think that can inspire me were also in my work. And I would like to start with this Donna Haraway's book, Staying with the Trouble. And in research, we look at step-by-step methods, we look at diagrams. But I think it's also important to look at metaphors, thinking companions. So one of these thinking companions is Donna Haraway. She introduced us this SF methodology. So she introduced this tentacular thinking, a different ways to think. And so in this SF methodology, she talks about string figures, science fiction, speculative feminism, and she allows us to, by this methodology, to become more than human, to living with non-humans in a different way in our damaged planet. So this is quite inspiring in terms of metaphor. Another thinking companion, a philosopher, right? These thinking companions can be artists. So one of them is a researcher, this one is a poet, a philosopher, a playwright, Edouard Glissant. Glissant is a Caribbean French philosopher, and in this book he challenges our assumptions around enlightenment, the Western modernity, and new forms of creating relationship between humans. So this is really interesting. So I find, so he has concepts around opacity, transparency, chaos, very valuable. And the third thinking companions are artists. So I use them, they are called the Harrisons. So I do a lot of work around their art practices. So I publish paper or research on their work. So they have been working on ecological and environmental topics for about 50 years. And this book is really inspiring in terms of how they approach the problems, how they see the issues, and work with different stakeholders, whether they are citizens, scientists. They write poem as a form of creating new knowledge. So this is really interesting. So I recommend everyone to look at it. It's beyond a coffee book. It's full of inspiration. I hope everyone will find something inspiring, new thinking companions in these three books.